Loot.bet. Made for live betting.
Welcome back, folks, to what will be our second map of this best of three. It's Overpass, of course, and it's Rip Reserve of x6tence Galaxy. I'm here joined by the ever so wonderful Scriv to take you through this second map. What are our thoughts? What are we thinking? What is the scoreline we predict?
Well, I mean, that first one was exhausting to say the least for you and I think to keep up the level of competitive Counter-Strike, it's going to be difficult, especially if you go down early here on the second map. Oh, okay, cool. But nonetheless, I think that it should be an interesting one. Red Reserve obviously coming out on top. Bit of a comeback mounted by them. So even without the tech issues, it's kind of like a mental game again because, you know, Red Reserve probably shouldn't have taken it towards the end. x6tence Galaxy did have a good, strong T side that they just couldn't carry through to the end. So I think, ask me in about 5 or 6 rounds, and then maybe I'll make a prediction. I think it is really going to depend on who gets that initial momentum here on map number 2.
Well, that's certainly an interesting prediction, and we will have to see how things do play out. As we kick things off here live in our first pistol round, it is going to be x6tence Galaxy over on the CT side, and we'll Reserve. We'll start on that T side, and they've made their choice. Now they're going to sleep in it. It is going to be a B side hit, as they all line up practically outside the tunnels here with only one player going towards short. The caveat, HS, he's lurking over towards that 8 side, he's making some noise. He's going to be faced up against players on long, so he'll have to dance around Fountain. But meanwhile, Draken and Co, they're making it work on B. They're causing a ruckus as Battner will only be good for one before he's pushed back. Nice little flash with a great move to push, but he just can't connect for the kill. So dangerously low that this should be an easy one for them to finish off now.
It's a bit of a messy way in, but like you say, should be fairly simple. They are very, very apprehensive on the CT side to move in. Ooh, Draken missing narrowly, but at least keeping them at bay. Manages to stay alive there. Will eventually get taken down. Need to start hitting some shots soon. There comes a couple. Scream, of course, with the one-taps. Nork, though, going to bring it back into a 1 versus 1. Certainly in contention, and Hampus just playing it safe. That bomb too far gone. And Nork just going to save his armor into the next round. So, hard fought. Will eventually go down as well. Hampus falls to the bomb. So all 10 players dying. But yeah, Red Reserve, just off the initial, few bits of damage, really. The confidence for x6tence Galaxy lacking on that retake.
Yeah, not really what you like to see, but very early days. Anything could change. Red Reserve, I believe they're off doing something somewhere on the map right now. Question is where, as the minimap finally appears. It's always good. Get an idea of what's going on. Looks like they are just going to spread out towards long. Give Freddy a little bit of trouble here. Hopefully take things nice and slow. Obviously it's just, for the most part, 5 USPs. There should be no reason to lose a single player in this round, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what you would expect, but the overwhelming nature of this push coming in, it's a decent enough flash. They don't actually manage to find either kill, but they're both so very low here. Scream especially, who's kind of trapped in at the rock. We'll manage to find 2. Grook's also peeking around, so they don't care that they've got low HP, and the rest of the boys come in to help out. So it would seem your little prediction there came true, despite the fact that, they did a lot of early damage, just not quite able to convert. So a small, sad moment for x6tence Galaxy, but not the end of the world. That's kind of how they expected that round to go ultimately. And now we'll come into the first buy round. Nork out on the AWP very early on. Draken has yet to pick one up, but that's okay for now. It's still early days. But this is going to give us a feel of where this game is about to go.
Early volley towards bottom corner is going to push Freddy back. He won't be facing a thing. Supported by a teammate there, which is nice. That double con setup may well come in handy as already the Heaven Smoke comes through. And HS is going to get aggressive. You can sense it. Starting to choose between now whether he wants to hit towards B or he doubles back and fight short. That's kind of the mistake there. I mean, he gives Freddy not only one, but a second as well. He finds Grox through the smoke. Little does he know, he's just dropped the bomb.
Try and find a little inkling here. Maybe something to return back for Red Reserve. Not really that great at the moment for them. They're just hoping to catch off some aggression. No one really giving them anything. They've set up quite well here to isolate and trap in these lone Ts, who, by the way, 3 left, but they're all very, very spread out, hoping to find a bit of an individual play. Hampus going to get spotted, backs away immediately. Meanwhile, over on A, Scream is here alone. If he can catch someone off, there is a chance they could get the bomb down, but Plopsky going to find Hampus certainly putting a spanner in the works. There's actually no one on A directly. Scream going to call that it's clear. There is that one player, I believe in the form of Nork, who's just sat in the bathrooms. Might just, depending on where they plant the bomb, be able to deny things here. That's certainly going to give things away. Only 16 seconds. Can't be B, can it? So, bomb plant going to come in. Oh, Nork. He knows his angles. And Scream to find the back end of Barton as well will unfortunately go down. That is, again, a situation you can't do anything about there. Red Reserve just getting picked apart ultimately off the early exchange that went the way of Existence Galaxy.
Well, the upside is that you do have a chance to back and respond here. Obviously going into round 4, they are spending themselves up in full. 4 AK-47s out for the utility as well on those 2 players. Scream, Hampers, and Draken, though, they got absolutely nothing left. They are just bodies at this point with rifles on their back. It's all going to be on Grux and HS to throw those smokes and use the flashes. Contact B definitely makes the most sense here in all honesty. Definitely like it. You need a charge, you find one, you trade it. Okay, Draken, that's fine, he was disposable. Let's see what more you can do here. Smoking your short, that's your 1 smoke now gone. So they will not be able to smoke Heaven or really do anything else hit across, which arguably may have been a mistake here. You know, Plopsky's there, that's a given. However, Heaven's a bit more of a risk for you, as that AWP can just pick you to shreds, and, well, it has done. Taking down Grux. Scream will trade it once more, and HS finds Barber. There's so much more to be done, and they just don't have the utility anymore to help them onto the site. They still yet to get a plant. Players creeping around. Back turn, look. He whiffs. Oh no, he whiffs. You hate to see it. Plopsky sprints to the site now to try and hold on to this one, but it's all going wrong. He's down to 11 HP. He's been wide swung by Hampus. Red Reserve will punish it over the line, and they will take it 3-1 and gain an AWP for their troubles too.
Well. That one small misstep has cost them early on here. It looked good for them to at least even things up and maybe, you know, have a fighting chance at gaining the lead, but an immediate reset comes through. That's really not good, to be honest. Red Reserve going to be in with a really good chance to just shut things down. Taking a look at the buy there, there's a few Deagles, and this could be almost in favour of Nork. Unfortunately, not quite perfect on the angle. At least Plopsky is there, gets greedy for the AK though, and that's when HS strikes. Was expecting an immediate peek that never came really. They are rotating across the B and Screen tag down to 3 HP. Crack angle by Barton, of course, but will get taken down. A little bit too much to ask for pistols here. More damage coming through on these P250s though. It's just kind of the majority of the T side being here to help everyone out, making sure that no real carnage going to come through from the CT side. So just Freddy B. Could save the Deagle. They're probably going to try and get a cheeky frag. Playing that headshot angle perfectly. I mean, this is the way you do it. For those of you maybe slightly newer to at least playing the game, when you're on low HP, you got to play those headshot angles. Strachan will find him in the end, but the theory was there from Freddy B. Unfortunately, the execution not quite as clean.
Reserve definitely hoping to build up a lead here now. Back to Kierman, 4-1. Looking for their 5th to try and really crush the economy of Existence Galaxy. They tried to piece something together as well, thereby a little less than shaky in comparison to what we saw from Reserve in the previous round. With a lot more utility spread out on their 5 players. I think that's the other big thing. It's why winning that round is so critical for Reserve, right? Because they spent so much into it, and it was such a ballsy buy, only having 2 players with any util at all and 1 smoke in the final moments. That's such a big round for them to convert. But nonetheless, here we are now in round number 6. It is going to be HS who loses life early on. Existence Galaxy will claim first blood over on towards that B site, while the rest of the team, I was about to say they seem pretty dedicated towards A, but they're already rotating and moving away. And I mean, the smokes on the A site are a little funky to say the least. They're smoking on top of Unbox.
45 seconds left. Trying to make their way into the site here. Oh, again, just being denied, though. It's very back and forth early on with these rifles out, which is obviously good to see. Just doesn't bode so well for the economy of either side, really, if it continues like this. Still a chance with the utility and the AWP in play. Molotov going to go in. I'm sure they know many a lineup for that barrel Molotov. Flash is great, but Grux is ahead of it. Barton is here to hold things down, though, and make sure to get the trades ring around. The Rose is coming through. Freddie B, meanwhile, is also nearby. Draken trying to find something here, but will eventually get overwhelmed, surely. Looked a bit dicey for a second, but he does get taken down before anything else comes through. So only losing a couple players. Existence Galaxy get a second. And as you can see by the odds and the way that the game is going, it is very hard to call at this point who is going to end up coming out on top of this one.
Early contact play goes through on toward the B side. Klapski lets rip with the M4. It's going to be good for 2, maybe even a thirder as he swings out with the USP to finish off Draken. Finally, he'll be traded by Scream, but maybe too little too late here. It is going to be that 2v3 now. Freddy to find Hampus. Mork taking down Scream, and just like that, you've got yourself a 3rd round for the CT side.
Like I say, it's very difficult on the economy. When it's back and forth initially, it's very easy for you to just fall flat. So you have very little money. Nork, quick flick onto HS, opens up. The Pistols rushing straight through here, trying to overwhelm that AWP, but they're aware of the fact that this is going to happen. You know, Nork doesn't need help, apparently. Oh my goodness, no way. That is such a fast ace. It's such a clean ace from Nork. Out of nowhere. He just finds all 5. Sure, it's only against Pistols, but you can't really afford to be missing a shot. This, particularly here towards the end, was fantastic. As Nork will even up the scoreline pretty much by himself. A little bit of help from Barbar, I suppose, to relieve some of the pressure. But don't let that one get to you, Red Reserve. You know, you can't be disheartened by a round like that.
Slow build up now, comes in on towards this A site. It's going to be Hampus being dead silent on the center side of the toilet as the smoke comes down with right in front of Plopsky. He's just going to walk right on through it. completely clear out the short push, which is great for him to be able to call to his teammates. They can focus now purely on what's coming behind him. He can just focus forward. Oh, he's seen Scream. Screen seen him though. Smoke comes out. Almost certainly looks like he has. Dragon. Some noise towards long now as Scream once again nearly being spotted. We'll get this one tap through the smoke apparently. Lovely stuff, but we've got to be so careful here. They do begin to make the push. Dragon nearly catching the Bolivio's Barbar, but unable to find the kill. Grux will find Freddy in the meantime as Nork begins to put in the work with the AWP. 4 rotations have come through now. The important thing to note is that they aren't on the site. They are all pushed back in towards Bank and Dumpster, so that does mean a plant is going to be given up. But it does make a retake possible too. It's definitely on the table. Oh, just making so much noise as well means he just knows exactly where he is. We'll start to creep around, make the push, catch them by surprise. Barbar wide swings into him, and just like that, you've got yourself a double kill, a third from Hampus, and it's happy days all around. Red Reserve, 5-4.
Yeah, really well played by HS, especially there, to just be patient and creep around. Great little angle from him as well, not really showing his knees. You know, it does make your hitbox shorter but wider. And I suppose your view model in general as well, so, you know, it can make you a bit easier to see in places. But yeah, really well done from Red Reserve. Obviously, winning a few rounds in a row, Existence Galaxy will have the money available. This is something that I'm kind of worried about as well, by the way, that Nork goes for this. Primarily because it's not something you see very often from teams at this level. It's a very ballsy play that you have to be sure you can be able to pull off. Some of the best overpass teams obviously kind of go for that a lot of the time, especially ones that rely on AWPers. And it's maybe something that Red Reserve can be ready for, but it can still catch you off guard quite a lot of the time. Great little setup here, gets ripped apart by Scream, goodness me. Barbar in from behind though, will drop the short flankers. Try and deny this bomb plant. I mean, he's on 13 HP, a little bit risky for him there, but he opts not to go for it. 3 versus 3, low HPs across the board, but Freddy B now to chime in. Grux, meanwhile, is fighting the other way, knowing that both of them are coming from the short angle. He's going to eliminate somewhere else. Draken on the AWP, always present. Barbar now the only one left. 11 HP, 1 versus 2. If he finds Grux quickly, it's certainly doable, but they know that he's low. You can see Draken there with the Glock out, and he's just going to back away to save. The money not great here for the CT side. It'll be a sick for Red Reserve. It'll be a hard reset onto that economy as well, as it looks like the T side are going to be in with a few rounds off the back of this.
Terrorists win.
$2,050 or dollars on Nork, $21.50 on Batten. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a good chunk of money, but in the context of CS, it's just not enough. Distance Galaxy will have to not bow out of this round, but they'll definitely be significantly hampered moving into round 11 here, as it should just be a save for most of these players. Barbar, the only one with weaponry to compete, like you say. Scriv, this should just be cut and dry for Red Reserve. I'm not quite sure on the whole, you know, they shouldn't lose a single player, you know, that AK could be lethal. But overall, they should be able to, you know, keep it relatively clean. Like, worst case, losing, you know, 2 or 3 people, but should be quite a simple one for them to be able to handle overall. Ooh. So far, so good.
Yeah, indeed. Clean as you like. Bit of damage taken by Grux, but he's picked up 2 kills, so that's alright. Got to be careful here, HS. Nork does have a P250, and he is alone as well. This could be an AK that he gives away, possibly. But Nork gonna opt not to take that fight. He's trying to wait for someone else to try and push him. Good little bait tactic, I suppose, but to no avail, ultimately. I mean, it's Scream. What can you do? Very clean round from Red Reserve. The accumulator rounds, building up a good bit of cash and setting themselves up nicely to maybe stomach a loss here or there. But at this point in time, their economy is a hell of a lot stronger. Their buy is a hell of a lot stronger than Existence Galaxy. So I think it's going to be difficult at this point in time for the Swedes to find an inkling without some early initial kills. You know, the utility going into the latter stages of the round will be very, very difficult for them to hold on to and to use effectively if they don't have any available at all. This is the play that we're looking for. This is what we like to see. Aggression going to come into long, and they're going to try and pick apart this T side. North will find one over there, but he gets taken down by his own teammate, in fact. It's a flurry of frags, all from the CT side. Results in a 4 versus 2.
Yeah, not at all bad. I mean, they got the kills that made up for it almost certainly. Leaving it in a 4v2 is definitely a situation I'm sure Nork isn't going to be unhappy with. It's just probably a shame that he went down in a flurry of fire, like you say. Barbar just on a bit of a tear. Looks like the play from Red Reserve is going to be to have Scream sort of creep up through in a toilet, let's take the duel against Freddy. Meanwhile, Draken will just sort of clear out the backer angles, this bench angle, and then move his way up through long onto the site itself. Now, if he can spot towards long, maybe get a pick there, that would be ideal. 40 seconds on the clock there, they can't wait too long, but the upside for them is that Existence Galaxy have dedicated 2 players towards B, leaving only Barbar to fight this one out, and he's 22 HP. It's basically, it could be quite an easy pick for Scream, I guess is really what I'm trying to say here. It looks like Barbar, though, is playing it quite smart. Wants to really just let the clock run down. Swings out as he hears the utility be thrown. Catches Draken with a nade in his hand. Makes Scream a little confused. Has to run back for the bomb as well. He's not sure where to play, what to do. Can hear himself getting pushed. And at this point, he's got 1,001 things to do. Another team kill comes through. And it will still be Existence Galaxy victory.
Bit of a messy one from them. And in all honesty, those 2 team kills are going to cost them quite heavily economically. If it had been a bit cleaner, that first one you can kind of give them. The second one, though, is a bit more painful to stomach. As you can see, it's still not very comfortable of a buy in terms of the equipment and whatnot, whereas Red Reserve, like I said at the start of that last round, can easily buy back up here. So, again, it's going to be another difficult one. Existence Galaxy need to get off to a good start. They need that man advantage at this point. But yeah, I mean, it's quite funny though, isn't it? Barbar gets a taste of his own medicine there at the end, so it's quite funny. But the hit coming in towards B, Hampus to pick up 2, making quick work of the defense. Spartan, he does trade them back though. It's looking so good. A third comes in for him as the bomb plant surely will come through, but it's kind of fallen apart a little bit for Red Reserve here. We'll see what Draken can do on this AWP, especially. Grux above the smokes. Needs to be careful. They're fading. He's going to drop back down in towards water underneath heaven in that pit angle, but will get taken down. It's Draken now, 1 versus 3. These are his kind of rounds, but he misses a pretty easy shot. Oh, the second as well is so hard to watch. It will be a 6th round for Existence Galaxy, and they avoid the dreaded reset.
Get to see it all over again in a replay. Batten securing a long little double, makes it to 3. Beautiful little play from him there. Does, of course, bring it up 6-7 now. Very, very close second map, that's for sure. May well be a third yet too. Little do we know. That'll be Inferno, of course. I'd actually be pretty pumped to see these teams battle out on Inferno. It could be an interesting one.
It could, to be fair. But it's still early days here. Very quiet entrance to this B-bomb site. I do like this. Really not giving anything away. Great angle from Plopsky, though. Spartan will be good for 1. That's maybe all he needs to get at this point. Rotation's going to start to come in once again as they are committing to the B-bomb site. Plopsky can deny this plant. What is going on? Hampus, a little bit misread from him. Maybe expecting that he was being watched, but no. Trying to spot something, anything. There's smokes everywhere. He gets flashed out and taken down. It's all onto HS, and Plopsky swaps weapons to pick him up. Too easy for him. 4K comes through in a 7th round for Existence Galaxy. It's been fast and aggressive from Red Reserve, and it's just really not worked out in these past few rounds, to be honest.
See a nice peek over the smoke from Nork. Oh, doesn't quite take the shot though, but maybe we'll be able to find so close. But again, the timing. Oh, buddy. Can he try and stay alive? That is the question. Looks like, thanks to the no aggression from Red Reserve, he'll walk away still standing, but nearly got hairy.
Once again, it's another slow start to proceedings. Looking to maybe spot some players out. The passive sort of setup coming in now from the CT side, but they're really not sure. Rotating people across into different spots. So again, it's maybe a little bit too telegraphed from Red Reserve. They will do the same thing they've been doing on B, you know, walk up slowly, but this time on A. Not going to deal with Nork at all with any of that utility, and he's going to capitalize. Picks up 2, not quite the 3rd as he will get taken down, but there's still Barbar to deal with. Ooh, a little bit unfortunate for him. Hampus to find 2 to open up this A bomb site here. Draken gets his hands onto the bomb and will get the plant in. Oh, no scope leg lands through the smoke by the looks of things. Draken in a 1 versus 3 will manage to find the first, a second, but not quite all of them. Barton is there to pick up the pieces. It will be an 8th round for Existence Galaxy, taking a slight lead going into the second half, but very well recovered from them.
Looking forward now to seeing how they can perform in this second half after what was a very back and forth and close, I think, competitive first half is the first way to describe it. As you can see on the scoreboard in front of you, the things were a little sort of all over the place, but a lot of it came in sort of quick stints of 3 rounds here, 3 rounds there, 4 rounds for at the end for Existence Galaxy, which is definitely ideal from an economic point of view, instead of having those quick sort of back and forth, so you win one then you lose one. That leaves both teams in a less than ideal position. Pretty solid performance from Nork as well. I mean, the guy's 17 to 9.
Yeah. Yeah, really good stuff. We generally say 20 is legendary, but we'll touch on that after this short break, of course, coming up.
Loot.bet. Made for live betting.
Welcome back, folks, to what is going to be the second half of Existence Galaxy versus Red Reserve. The scoreline currently is 8-7. Looking forward to seeing how this will play out, and potentially, if it concludes, we could have map 3 on our hands. The ball really is in the court of Red Reserve now to try and close this one out.
Well, there's a bit of utility brought up in the hands of Barbar. Generally tends to be the one who does. Only on 4 frags at the moment, not really ideal, but seemingly not needed so much on the CT side, apparently. He's also only died 8 times, so that kind of states that, you know, he's just not seen that much action. Regardless, we will see this B hit come in most likely. Smoke to slow them down. They're going to have to run through it, and that's maybe not ideal. Scream tapping heads as he finds 3. How did he get away with that 3rd one? 4 on 2 very quickly indeed, as Scream is just so crisp. Nork will trade one back, but Barton now finds himself stuck in on the site, and Crooks from the side takes him down. This Swede has been performing pretty well, in my opinion, considering he doesn't even have a portrait. Pretty good stuff. It will be the pistol going the way of Red Reserve. They'll even things back up and most likely find a 9th, maybe a 10th. Depends on the buys and whatnot from the T side, of course. It's just that 3rd. He's in the middle of getting shot by someone, but he is just Terminator zoning in on that 3rd head.
It's just tapping heads, man. That's what he does best. Really nice way for them to start off the pistol too, right? I mean, it's going to be huge for the momentum just to kickstart this second half. Let's see a couple of pistols here and there sort of begin to take aim at Red Reserve here. Well, they've just gone for the complete rifle buy. I mean, they've only got 1 SMG in play. That's on HS. So far, so good. Scream once again finding those heads as Draken will find one of his own, taking down Plopsky. Freddy next in line as it does this leave Batten and Barbar. 2 Bs, see what they can do here. And well, that's a frag. Can he even get the rifle? I mean, it's a question in itself. It looks like Red Reserve are actually being smart here. They're pushing to defend that gun. They don't want them taking away anything out of this round.
Still got a flash, though. You never know. Ooh, starts running though. And that will give it away. No opportunity at getting a jump on Hampus there. So, easy enough in the end. But still, it's relatively good from them into this next round. One of those situations where possibly, you know, again, better than the CT buy. So we'll have to see here if they can take away and whether they can find some opening picks on that CT side to make this weaker buy work better for them.
Slow and steady. Existence Galaxy leaping up right now, close to Red Reserve, almost touching distance. Kraken just sat parked around the corner, UMP in hand, ready to let rip. Milk just peeking up through the glass, but can't see a thing just yet. Hampus tucked in around the corner as well, giving zero vision. The CT side, or Existence Galaxy in fairness. Noise begins to be made. Hampus wins out on the duel, which is surprising, and gets a second as well. Now he's looking for more as Draken will swing, but both players will die in the process. That's 40 seconds on the clock, and then A-play coming through. The saving grace may well be Groxon Long. There's no way they expect this, and they don't. He's gonna peek on around, trying to spot the bomb carrier. Finds Plopsky, swings out, now can cool that he's truck as well. Flash goes nice and high. Freddy B 1 HP, and he's all that remains.
Well, not the best of starts to the second half for Existence Galaxy. They were already behind due to the pistol, and now even further so after losing that rifle round. Not doing a great deal of damage with it either. They get the bomb plant, the loss bonus not quite stacked up to give them a clean buy. I'd like to see a half buy here, but yes. I fear they are going to go balls to the wall a lot of the time. Would have been a bit cleaner to get some pistols and some utility. As you can see, it's not really ideal. You've got 5 rifles, but so do your opponents. And then they have so much more utility than you that they can just outplay you in that sense. So unless someone pops off, again, it's a very large asterisk to have for the play. You know, oh, well, sure, we don't have a best buy, but Plopsky's going to get 5 headshots. It's fine. And at the moment, it's just not going well. 2 little trades coming through from the CT side. Sure, there is one picked up by Plopsky, as I mentioned his name, but it's an early advantage. And now the lack of utility makes things even worse because you're a man down, you've lost control of certain parts of the map, and you just don't know how to recover it back. It's a very, very, very foolish buy, in my opinion. It's not even like risky, it's just silly. You're going to continue to lose men across all sites. I mean, I feel like this is going to put Red Reserve in a really good spot to close out the game if they win like one more rifle round.
I'm just going to let the clock run on out. That will give up another round to Red Reserve, of course. Skriv, are you feeling confident now for Red Reserve? Do you think they can just sort of keep on pushing and close this out? Or do you think there's still much to show for Existence Galaxy?
I don't know. I think we'll see what happens with this buy here. It could, you know, really be something that comes in from left field if they opt to go for the Force off the back of these 2 AKs, which given the buy in the previous round, they might just do. But it seems they've come to their senses, so perhaps not. But if they can cleanly win this one...
They've all just bought Kev.
Oh, did they... Well, yeah, but I don't think they spent all their money on this, is the thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they spent a little bit, which is nice, I guess, but...
Yeah. This is what they should have done in the previous round, though. right? Because they didn't have enough money for good utility in the last round. Go for a half buy, do some damage, get the bomb down, and make things comfortable into your next gun round. And then we'd be looking at an 11-8 where Existence Galaxy would have a much better chance at fighting back against Red Reserve because they'd have a good buy. They'd maybe have an AWP out in places, which Nork is a key part of the team, and the AWP is obviously his weapon of choice. But as it happens, it's already 11-8. Probably going to concede this one because, you know, you've only got 2 rifles and 2 smokes and a flashbang. And then it's 12-8, and then you get another buyout. Okay, all right, I'll maybe hedge my bets for a second. But, like, if Red Reserve win the next gun round after maybe winning this one, it's now looking a little bit more dicey, but, you know, it could spell the end of the game. And sure, Nork's just popped off a bit with that shot, but it's like you can't rely on people to do that every single round. They still haven't won it here yet, but it's looking better and better for them. Maybe a little bit of a blunder from Red Reserve on this one.
Definitely not ideal. They are going to give this one up now. Walk away with an AWP, an AUG, and an AK-47. So it's not all bad. Can't help but feel like it extends the longevity of this game and really just keeps Existence alive, which is almost the polar opposite of what Red Reserve want to achieve here. I think the longer this game goes on, the more worried I get for them, in all honesty. Because I just don't think they have the depth in the strat book to really be able to withhold, you know, to be honest, with even withhold overtime on overpass. As if we even get that far, it's currently 11-9, 2 rounds of difference, and at that point we're starting to talk about third map. Let's see how things do play out. This is Galaxy here. Full buy once again, of course, now. All the utility, all the trimmings. Happy days for them. Red Reserve will fill in the blanks. Dropping rounds to the players that did lose them, so at least they've got the firepower in this round, but they are going to be starting to run out of the cash. They do continue to make these mistakes.
Mid control comes in fairly easily, not having to battle too much. This could be a great position from Hampus, though. Ooh, he will not check the angle properly, though. Plopsky going to take him down. They've done a kill's worth of damage on the CT side of things. Scream has to go huge. He can't. It's now Draken who has to go huge. He does pick up 1. He gets a second as well. The 3rd comes in. Draken coming alive. Not quite the 4th. Spin around in classic Draken style. But nonetheless, he brings it back into contention. HS, though, that's very aggressive to go for that peak. Now it's Grux in a 1 versus 2. I honestly feel like if there's anyone that can do this on the CT side, maybe he is it at the moment, the way he's been playing. And he is kind of hidden away in a position that they don't really expect. Contact AWP of Nork, though, will eventually take him down. It's a round Existence Galaxy needed. And they will step up despite the individual play coming through from Draken there.
One round the difference, and it may well be given up by just a flurry of pistol fire. Thankfully, they are backed by Kevlar at least. There is an upside. We found out the poor weaponry in play here by Red Reserve, but it isn't looking good.
Got to make these pistols work. Pretty key round, honestly. Nork is popping the hell off at the moment. 23-12, the highest fragger on the server. I was going to say so, but I just had to double check. The flash comes in. Nork going to drop Grux, but there's so many pistols here. Could quite easily do so much damage, but not really checking the angles properly. Draken will find the AWP of Nork, but he's the only one really that's got any kind of damage done. He eventually goes down. Screams like, guys, where'd you all go? He's the last one left in a 1 versus 4. I mean, it's a bit tough at this point. So it looks like it is probably going to be an 11th coming through for Existence Galaxy and bringing things back into contention. It was that one round where it's like, if they win this one, they look good. They look comfortable. And then they just kind of threw it away. Scream, unfortunately, too many bodies at that point. Too many angles to be checking. Exposes his back and gets taken down. So an 11th round comes through. And Existence Galaxy now, they are the ones in prime position. Open deaths. I think it should maybe say opening, but I understand what they mean.
I'm guessing that is dying early on into the round, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the first one to die for his team type statistic. So only one. Good job. Good job.
Make it 2? Hampus falling early on there to Nork, who picks him up. The EWP to use there. Rat can just instantly get a full one back and live to fight another day, but already a man disadvantage for a reserve. Not feeling too good about this one.
Play things slowly and passively. They should be able to overcome the CT side here. Not really giving away where they're going. Again, kind of similar to Inferno, you can neglect a lot of information from the CT side on the T side of Overpass. Scream watching short. No one's coming from short, buddy. They're all coming from Monster. He will peek out, spots so many bodies, gets the thing onto one. Oh, but he was expecting Grux to maybe do a bit more there. And yeah, as you can see, I think running away to save is the best idea here. It's going to be a 12 for Existence Galaxy. They'll take the lead. They'll demolish the economy of Red Reserve. It does look like we're edging ever closer to that third map here.
Plovsky finding Draken is just the cherry on top for now. HS will eventually revenge his fallen teammate, but there isn't really too much to be shouting about. We want to see for Red Reserve. They are just dropping rounds like flies at this point. Existence Galaxy just claiming the lead here, obviously, and moving further and further forward. Bear in mind, Red Reserve have basically no money in the bank. I mean, you've got 1150 on screen, but Draken, Hampus, and Grux have between 0 and 50. So it's really nothing to be screaming about. Like, the likelihood is that we'll see maybe upgraded pistols here. We definitely won't be seeing a buy, that's for sure. Yeah, 2950, 2900 is really maybe some upgraded pistols, like Deagles, a CZ maybe. But I don't expect much more. That could, on paper, mean 1311. Would a buy 4011, 1511? That's 1 or 2 buy rounds, and this could be the end of the map, and we could be seeing a third here.
Needs a bit of a hero play. At this point in time, somebody needs to step up right here for Red Reserve. And that's very difficult to rely on, but maybe, just maybe, they can make it work. The names on this team have got great history behind them. Kind of fallen into obscurity a little bit, though. Maybe flashes of the past can reveal themselves. Hampus going to take an advanced position in towards long. That's so much information gained. Barbar, his position is very important right now for the T side to find something here, but he can't really dedicate to the peak. They're going to start to push in. He misses the initial shots. We'll go back and reset. Again, going to end up going down. Meanwhile, the B hit coming through. It's a 4 versus 3, as there has been a couple of trades over towards B as well. Scream on the Deeg. Picks up a second. Not quite the third, but damage done. Hampus on this quick flank might just be the linchpin right here. Freddie B going to move towards him, though, takes him down. Again, tagged up slightly. It's certainly doable for these final 2 players, but HS is also pretty low. Where are things going to go? The bullets surely going to come flying in soon. Is Freddie B just holding it down? That first portal call on the higher HP. Time is ticking down right now. The CT's really biding their time. They'll slowly move in. HS going to fall. It's all down to Barton and Draken, who will come out on top. And it's Barton with a clean headshot. 13th round for Existence Galaxy, and that might just secure us our 3rd map.
Lovely shot from Scream. Gotta love it when he hits those flicks. That said, still not gonna be enough. 13-11. I'm forever getting more worried here, Scriv. You know, it's really just not ideal. The Reserve looks so composed early on, but the deeper we get into this, the worse it seems to get. Nork, once more, takes down Hampus. It's another early advantage put into play for Existence Galaxy. Draken will be hunting towards long, but seemingly nothing for him to find. Maybe we'll have something if he looks towards the inside of toilets as this mid push comes through. Really depends on how smart x6tence will play this one. Looks like they are just going to completely focus on the outside portion of the map, which does mean that the real player to be competing against will be Scream on site now. See there, just parked with his trusty M4A1S, looking to see what he can do. If he jumps now for a second time, he might spot them, which he will do. Has got the molly in hand. Nice shot from Draken to find Klopski. Still need to see something from Scream here.
Well, maybe his moment's about to come. Now moving in towards his A site, gets immediately spotted out and taken down though. It's Draken in at long that could be the issue, but surely got to account for this player coming in from behind. The smoke goes down, it's going to force him to look. He will find Freddy B, keeping things in contention. Two players coming in on the flank position, one from the conventional stairs bank area. Great flash comes through, but the shots still land for Barton. HS going to fall. This is still certainly doable, though. Look how low they are. There's a kit in the hands of Grux. They just need to find the peaks. I'm going to go down onto the bomb. This is really going to give a good chance for the sprays to come through. It's not going to land so far, though, and apparently they just don't know where the bomb is planted. The defuse going to come through, and it will be a kill to put salt in the wound as well.
That's just
it's so hard to call towards the end here. I don't know how they get away with that, to be honest.
It's crazy. That's a nice shot there from Norg. What a great little opener. The amount of through the smoke kills we've seen over the past, like, day or two is crazy. Oh, seems like a pause is called as well, almost immediately there. Create a bit of space in this game now. 13-12, of course. So incredibly close. So much more on the shoulders for Reserve, though. The pressure, really, right? Because if they lose this game, so what? Okay, you can close it in Inferno. Like, you've got that second chance. But for x6tence Galaxy, it really is on them to force it to a third. But for Reserve, they want to close it out and to not deny that third chance. So Campus is going for the same peak. Oh, thank God he's not. Really don't want to see the same player die to the same angle 3 times in a row. It's not too pretty. But thankfully he just throws the nade and various bits of utility down there. It gets mollied off as well by the T side, so no opportunity for that duel to take place, which means that at least for now it's a 5v5, which is kind of what we want to see.
Opening pick for Draken. Has yet to be able to deal with him. It's a hard angle to flash him off of. He will miss the shot, though. That's one way of doing things. Oh, the peek comes in. It's a team kill. Draken to follow up quickly as well. Going to drop the bomb. The 4 versus 2. Barrel bait from Nork as he tries to get the shot from Draken so he can peek him solidly. It's not going to come in. Freddy B and Nork going to have to pick up the pieces here. This will be their economy getting demolished as they lose it. Freddy B spotted. He finds the kill onto Scream. Spins around to take down Draken. Beautiful stuff from Freddy B. There's the bomb back in possession of the T side. The B bomb site ripe for the taking. And suddenly this looks a bit more doable for x6tence Galaxy after a poor start. It's the stand-in, who his portrait is a picture of him wearing a red reserve jersey. That would certainly be a storyline. But nonetheless, they will be in with a fighting chance here.
Taken down. Molly will be thrown towards short. And they get on the bomb almost immediately. Nork will die in the fire there if he swings out into the diffuser. There's one. Well, it's just too slow. You need your rifle at full HP just to wing like 3 seconds before Nork even tries to, right? Like, Nork is so low that he can't take 2 ticks of the flames. But why not just fill in that play as 100 HP? The minute the molly's thrown, you know what's going on. Have the rifle a swing. Even if he only finds 1 kill, that at least buys a bit more of an opportunity. Maybe the guy gets off the bomb, but just having both players then sit back and wait, and then eventually he swings, just means that there's never a reality where he comes off the bomb there, and it's always going to be that risk win for Red Reserve. And it's such an important round too, 13-13. It's just equalised things.
Yeah, it's kind of a difficult one. I think when you're in that scenario and playing there, you'll think about those things afterwards, but you have to make those decisions so quickly. So that's the only thing I can think of why they make a blunder like that. Nice little 1-for-1 trade comes in, as they will manage to gain a bit of a short control here and also pull that player from long back towards the site itself. So 4 versus 4. Very quickly indeed. And scout out for Draken? Okay. That's not great. Figured they would have recovered the orb, but I suppose not.
Hey man, it's like scouts.
You never know, it gives... Yeah. It gives kind of like a little bit of a different playstyle, I guess. Like a spotting playstyle you can definitely go for.
It's actually such a sick gun if you can play it right. It just, yeah, it takes a different style than the AWP.
Yeah. That's why it's like weird. You see some players who can't AWP, but they're really good on the scout, and vice versa. Anyway, we're going to see it put into action here as the hit going to come through. That is so much damage done. My goodness, Scream and Draken just ripping them apart right here. I think HS had come in from behind maybe to try and do some damage. Didn't get any kills, but everybody else able to clean up. It's a 14th from Red Reserve. It's a demolished economy for Existence Galaxy.
Pretty crucial point in the game now. Existence Galaxy have nothing left in the bank. They'll just be going for the pistol. And the Forcer, ooh. That's a decision. Scriv, what do we think about that? That's full util. That's got to be a full spend.
I mean, I'm not a fan. I'm always a fan of the safe play, personally. But maybe that's what they were expecting, and this is a surprise that they're trying to go for. Not really working out, though, in all honesty. HS is holding things down pretty cleanly. Scream's here. One of the things Scream's done really well is just changing sites. He's been very flexible, to be honest. Yeah, I was going to say, they didn't spend all of their money, but some of the players did. So it's like, I don't think they quite got the memo that it was meant to be a half buy in
That's
some
kind of what I'm
cases.
getting at. It's a real questionable buy. You know, you've got, thankfully, enough rifles here, maybe, so we got to make it work, but you got that Deagle on the bottom. I think there's a rifle on Nork, but I actually just can't see because the contrast of the HUD. Is that an AK there? I think
so, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can see it
Because he's
now.
not got it out.
Yeah, it kind of fades into obscurity, doesn't it, unfortunately. So there is an AK on Nork, so actually that is better than I thought it would be. So, you know, credit to them. I've got bad knack in math, take it. But unfortunately they are just getting wrecked anyway. So, I mean, there isn't a huge real talking point there.
Wow.
They've just been annihilated. I'm pretty sure GG just got dropped in the chat as Freddy is last man standing in a 1v5.
Wow. These past couple rounds, I don't... Did someone like make a call to be like, okay, let's go pistols and armor because they're very rich, not having a look at everyone else's money, and like no one said I can't afford to do that and like buy a rifle in the next round, so we should just eco. And now they've like argued about it. Like that's what this round looks like, is that everyone's a bit tilted in this final round. I mean, unless Freddie B can save the day, but it does look like they've kind of mentally checked out and just gone, screw it, we'll just run wherever. I'm going to try and find some headshots. Freddie B's finding kills, not quite headshots, but he's found a couple. Gets his hands onto an M4, but 28 HP. Does have the bomb in hand, only got 30 seconds, so feasibly can really only go B here now that he's made this noise and whatnot in this direction. We'll see what he can get, though. Star standing, had a great game, but unfortunately, it will not be great enough. 16 to 13, 2-0 in favor of Red Reserve, coming through after a very grueling first map with all the tech issues and things. In the end, it seems that it got to Existence Galaxy, though.